Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Let's Talk. I am here on a very special edition of Let's Talk with Marquard. I always struggle to pronounce that. Marquard Pienaar from the Federal Party, who is at the moment doing something I would say courageous and also someone who's standing up for his rights, I believe. So, Marquard, I want you to explain what it is exactly you are doing, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, am I on the air now?
Yes, we are live.
Thank you, Joe, for giving me the opportunity. Um, the video, I think I'm going to close YouTube again because there are a delay
Yes,
and it works better only with Skype. I will just hold on, please. I just want to close YouTube.
no problem.
Okay, yes, that's better. Um, well, I am camping on the grounds of the union buildings. I petitioned the presidency on the 22nd of June because of two reasons. The one is for Federal Party of South Africa, which is currently registered under the name Divided Party. And the other purpose is for me personally, because the courts are corrupt and I am homeless at the moment because of the situation. I cannot pay rent, and so that's a problem for me personally. If you to explain more the reasons for Federal Party of South Africa and for me, the details. The reason I am petitioning the president on behalf of Federal Party is because the media doesn't inform the public about Federal Party. And Federal Party SA has a unique policy. And a democracy can only work well if the public is informed. I mean, they have to take informed decisions when they vote. Next year is the next election. And the situation whereby the media, big media companies told me, or one big media company told me, I have to pay for advertisements. They won't inform the public. And that creates a situation whereby the democracy can only work when rich people start political parties. And I think there should also be the opportunity for people who are not rich to start political parties, and that can only work if the media informs the public. So I hope that the president can do something about that, that he can, I don't know what he can do, maybe they can pass a law or something that say that small political parties with unique ideas, which are different options, should be not promoted, but the public should know about it at least. I mean, so that they can take informed decisions. And that is the political party situation, the petition. Sorry, my phone, I just want to switch my phone off because I'm getting, I did not switch my phone off.
That's right.
Switch off. Yes, okay, that's a political party. My own situation is a lot more complicated. I am very certain that I was outlawed
Okay.
or ostracized. There's many terms used for it, but it's not something that is how it works. I don't know, because I'm not involved in the outlawing. I was outlawed, and I think it has to do with my rebelliousness that started 20 years ago when I started a business. I started to operate in a different way. I think that's expected from most people. According to me, we are expected to work for maximum profit, and if we don't, then we don't fit into the system. It's the rat race that people talk about on the stock exchanges, and if you don't work for maximum profit, then it is problematic, because the non-profit companies or non-profit businesses, they are dependent on the maximum profit. The big companies and everybody makes maximum profit, and then they donate to the non-profits. So the whole system is dependent on this maximum profit business, basically. And I started doing business 20 years ago, and I said, no, but I'm not going to make maximum profit. I'm just going to make enough for me, and then after that I'm going to sell motorcycles for lower prices. So I did not maximize my prices, and I think that could be a reason that caused that I was outlawed. And also, well, I was rebellious. I, for example, called a very influential rich businessman, and I told him that I think the maximum profit is causing a lot of trouble in South Africa. It just increases the divide between the rich people and the poor people, and it is not sustainable. But then, since 20 years ago, other things that happened that made me think that I was outlawed is I was put into situations where corruption was expected from me. I qualified as a chartered accountant in 1994, and we have to, part of our job is to vouch financial statements, etc. And so on. And I was in too many situations where I was expected to vouch fraudulent information. I don't think it was usual.
And
So that
was
made
this with was this with like big companies and big clients that you had to do this?
Yes, it was with big companies, listed companies. I was given jobs where I was told by it happened a lot of times, and I couldn't get a permanent job for 10 years since 1999, when I started my business. So all the time I was busy doing entrepreneurial work, thinking of ideas, trying to build up my business. And eventually in 2009 I became an academic. I was given work at UNISA, and I started doing research about my entrepreneurial experience. But then the same thing happened there at UNISA. I was expected to break my contract and do work which are not according to my contract. My job was, for example, to do research and lecturing. Those were the two main components of my work that I had to do according to my contract. But then the management expected me to not do research and do other work. And that ended eventually when I said, no, I want to do my research, I'm interested in it, and it is in my contract. Victimization started, and eventually it ended in the courts. And I lost my work at UNISA. The labor court decided it was an unfair dismissal, and but I took it further. They didn't give me my job back, and I opened a case at the Judicial Service Commission, and over there, the highest judges of the country was corrupt. The Deputy Chief Justice of South Africa, for example, with many colleague judges of his wrote in a document which it had about 27 false statements in it, and they referred to me, for example, in the document with the words his beliefs and homosexuality, and I'm a heterosexual male. I mean,
Wow.
it was slander, basically. And they refused to sign the document. I said to them, but if you want to write nonsense like that, you have to sign the document. And they said, no, they're not going to sign it. And they used as an excuse, they said it's because the judges are all over South Africa. They were, when they do a investigation, they get judges from all over South Africa and they investigate a case. They investigated a judge in the labor court. And so that was another thing that happened. I mean, it was to write false information like that. It was just false disinformation or disinformation. They jumped on the bandwagon. I think it looks to me as if they became part of this situation in which I'm in. And then I was given work at Vaal University of Technology, and they broke the Labour Act against me. And when I went to the CCMA to resolve that, the CCMA just decided they're not going to take notice of me. They're not going to even listen to my case. And so that is another situation which makes sense in the context of being outlawed. I don't have access to the law system to protect my individual rights. And any individual, any individual is weak. I mean, you need the law system and the justice system.
Yes.
To protect you if a group of people are against you.
Yeah.
And so that's my personal situation. That's why I'm petitioning the president, because I'm homeless. I mean, I don't have a place to stay. I'm staying on the grounds at the moment in a tent.
Yes. Just to be clear, you are camping outside of the union buildings at the moment to again petition for basically being outlawed, and you feel that the justice system has failed you, and you want the government to do something about it. Is that correct? In a synopsis.
Yes, I wrote in the petition. I asked the president to do something because no one else did something or could do something. And I asked, I in the petition I wrote, and I asked, hopefully he can do something.
And you lost your work, or your work, because you're not making money at the moment. Was that because of COVID? Did your business have to close because of COVID, or was it because of the outlaw situation?
No, it had nothing to do with COVID. My situation has nothing to do with COVID, because I have a business. It's not generating income at the moment. It is a cryptocurrency business, and I started Federal Party SA, and that's also not generating any cash at the moment because nobody is donating to it.
Yes. Okay. So I'm just trying to understand. The income side of it is not necessarily the government's fault, then.
The Federal Party of South Africa, I think the government has an influence, because if they can do something that the media introduce smaller parties with good ideas, then the chances to get funding for a political party is much better. But not being known by the public, I mean, to raise funding for a political party is very difficult.
Yes.
If for example the big press companies featured Federal Party South Africa in the newspapers, then people could see the the policy of the party, and then there are more people who could fund the party.
Yes. I do agree with you that there is a bit of a bias in the MSM when it comes to parties. Even the DA, with all its finances and support, struggles to get the media to report on them in a positive or even enough to keep them in the limelight. It's only when DA may have said something controversial or is onto something that the media deems clickbait worthy, they will report. So I do agree that there is a shortfall with mainstream media to report on certain parties, and you're not the only one. You know, there's the Cape Party that they don't really report on that much, and other parties like ZACP and so on and so forth. But it is, as far as I understand it, the responsibility of the party to create or generate funds, even without the assistance of the mainstream media. So personally, I don't know how that works, so I may be speaking out of turn, but I would imagine that that is something I don't see the president doing much about, because as a party, it's up to you to make it. That's how I understand it. I could be wrong. I would love for someone in the chats to maybe correct me or comment below, a lawyer maybe or someone who's watching that can shed some light on that, and maybe also give you some advice on how to pursue it further. Because I do think that that needs to be addressed, and I do know that you have been struggling to get your party on a mainstream media or even spoken about in general. With regards to your situation and the corruption that you're speaking of, I think that's something that's extremely important that people may not hear about too often. I have a comment here from Just a Ghost who says. He says, people wanted me to pass the clamps for a bridge on Santon. All I'm saying. So, you know, you hear stories maybe between your friends and family at a braai, someone that works with the government. Yeah, we kind of, you know, shorted this, or we didn't pay for that, or we did this, or we was asked to do that. I've heard stories of, a different energy supply being offered to the government, and the government just says, if we can't get a bit of a kickback, we're not going to accept it. And so there is stories of corruption, and I think your story is very important to mention. My only worry for you is you mentioned that you're a bit of a rebel. So one could
That
argue,
was when I was younger. Now I'm not rebellious anymore. Well, I'm doing my research still opposes the system,
hmm,
and that was partly why I was my academic freedom, for example, when I was in academia,
yes,
wasn't respected at all by the courts, and
yes,
it's one of the human rights.
yes,
But it's not the type of rebelliousness that I had 20 years ago.
okay.
It is academic rebelliousness in research.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Like you said, like I'm trying to do now my rights for expression, because I believe artists are being censored by cancel culture and certain people in the mainstream media and stuff like that. So it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, what what would you like to see happen? What in your opinion is the solution here?
Well, my solution is a philosophical solution, which I think it is I could say the root of the problem. According to me, I don't actually know if I should go into this because it has a lot to do with religion and with belief. And I think that was also one of the reasons why the Deputy Chief Justice and other judges wrote in that document his beliefs and homosexuality, because the belief has an effect on this whole cancel culture and sexuality. It seems the cultures are different in South Africa. What some people think makes a man is not what other cultures think makes a man. And yesterday I had a discussion with someone else, and he said, for example, he knows about in a part of his culture, you have to go to jail before you are a man. It is, and other cultures, it is. I found that they say no, a man has to lie. And honesty is for me important. It's an important part of my philosophy. It is, I want to do honest work. And that is partly the reason why these problems happen, the cancelling and the false opinions written by judges. And it affects people's lives negatively. Um, Yeah, so it has to do with religions and belief, and what is a man type of thing. I think that is also something that other people might find interesting to discuss. But I definitely, at 51 years of age, I realized that my view of the effect of honesty and so on is not the same as the majority of other people. And at UNISA, for example, I was accused there. They said that I think that I am God because I wanted to do honest work. And that has to do with this whole cancel culture thing, because people who are trying to be good are accused of thinking they are gods or God. That is something that is happening, and that I think that is the root, I think, of the cancel culture.
Well, yeah, even in my pursuit with fighting against cancel culture, people have accused me of somewhat the same, having a huge ego and stuff like that. So that is definitely a common theme when naysayers want to try and discredit you. What I'm very interested to know as well is, do you have documentation to prove your situation and the corruption?
Well, all the documentation of the court cases I was involved, I uploaded to the africahead.co.za website. There are thousands of pages of documents that I uploaded there. I was in the Constitutional Court that I took my case to. They did not listen to it. Then I was at the end of I was dismissed on 12 December 2012. They dismissed me at UNISA. Then I was attacked by two men with regards to a problem with my car, a service problem, and I defended myself. That was also in Pretoria, and I defended myself. Nobody got hurt. There was nobody had to go to the doctor, and then they laid a assault case against me, and I was, for about 2 years, 3 years, I was victimized in the magistrates court by different prosecutors. There were, every time I'm in the court, there's a different prosecutor, and eventually there was one honest magistrate, and he just said this is nonsense, and he threw the case out. But for almost 2 years, I was given trouble in the magistrates court. So I think that was another situation where the cancel culture went much too far. And because yes, it was and that also indicated corruption to me in the court system.
Well, now you're camping outside of the Union buildings. I can see the Nelson Mandela statue behind you. Can you describe what it's like at the moment for you? Like, every day. What's a typical day for you right now?
It's actually not too bad. I mean, if there's a Khoisan group also petitioning the president. They have been here since 2017.
What?
They walked from Port Elizabeth, during 2017, and they are still here. If I turn the camera, then I can show you their camp.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me just see.
Okay,
There,
yes.
can you see the tents?
Yes, I can.
Yes, that's where they are camping, and I made friends with them, and we spent the day talking, and it's not too bad actually. I mean, if I think being on the street, must be terrible, but this is much, at least it's safe. It is. I have company, and they are also busy with a political thing. They are representing the Khoisan people, and they have complaints with regards to the way that the Khoisan people are treated. They feel that they are treated not to the same. They don't have the same privileges that other um, indigenous or black people of South Africa have. Um, and one of them joined Federal Party, which was good. He,
That's awesome.
as an executive member.
Nice.
And
Okay.
so during the day, I brought my guitar with. I practice guitar, and I go on the internet in the evenings. Unfortunately, my computer battery is not very good, and we have electricity here. Close by where I'm sitting, there's a electricity point which they use for the gardening and so on, and we can charge our phones there, and I charge my computer. And what else can I tell you? It is yeah, it's like camping.
But now, are you guys making noise at all? Do you go up to the buildings and knock on the door and say, "I want to speak to the president"? Or you just, because I mean, if these guys have been camping there for 3 years, I mean, are you prepared to wait 3 years with them? Until, I mean, there has to. I'm asking basically, like, what are you guys trying to do to maybe speed the process a bit? Because you can't just sit there and just wait.
I'm waiting now. They told me 14 days, and
Okay.
today is the last day of the 14 days. Hopefully, if I don't hear anything, then I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll stay here and keep on getting exposure for Federal Party. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think at the moment that is my plan: is to stay here then, and to get some exposure for Federal Party. Luck yesterday, um, a big newspaper called me, and on the Sunday, and maybe they are going to place an article. I don't know.
Okay.
Um,
All
but
right. Well, that's
I
good.
think it gives exposure.
Okay. Well, I hope this video will also give you a bit of exposure as well and get people talking about what you're trying to do, which is, again, trying to fight against corruption. And I gotta commend you because you're just one guy at the moment, sitting there day in. Now you, like you said, for it's been 2 weeks, or a week, and you've just been there now. In the cold. You made some friends, but it can't be nice. It can't be nice to be in your situation. And I have to admit that you seem to be emotionally uh, quite stable, if I can put it that way. You're a lot more optimistic than I thought you would be. Because I mean, it can't be nice to go from shelter to now in a tent and still a bit of a challenge every day, and I can't imagine what it's like to be in the cold at nights. I'm sure it's quite cold at night.
It's not too bad. I have a good sleeping bag. It's hot. I just keep my clothes on when I sleep, and when I get cold, then I pull the sleeping bag over my head and I blow my breath into the sleeping bag, and that makes it hot.
Yeah, well, that's
And
no way
but
to live.
yes, it shouldn't go on for long. Um, But hopefully it will get exposure and people will start funding the political party. And I mean, that should make a change. And then also my business. Hopefully, I'm busy developing a cryptocurrency exchange on the website, and which has also to do with self-determination, like the political party. It is a interest-free, debt-free environment where funding is available for brand development, and hopefully that can get some exposure as well. Well, I am mentioning it now, and
Yeah.
if I can refer people to the websites,
Yeah.
yeah, africa.co.za, and the political party website is dividedparty.github.io.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I really do. I will try and share this video as much as I can on social media, and hopefully get you some eyes on you, and maybe, who knows, maybe another media house will want to chat to you and speak to you about what you're doing. At the moment, corruption in the ANC is a topic, and people are talking about it, especially in the courts as well, with the whole cigarette ban and all those other legal fights that are happening now in the South African court system. So I really do wish you the best of luck. I yeah I've got nothing else to say except for Godspeed.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity. And I really hope that people pay attention to the good ideas of Federal Party, because I I really think and I believe that it is the only solution for South Africa. And yeah, it's just now I hope I can be involved in implementing it, because if funding won't come forward, I cannot fund the political party. I've been funding it since 2018 self, and I put the work in, but my capital is finished. I cannot now fund the party any further unless if I can get funding out of my business. If my business start generating income, or the cryptocurrency start selling, then I will donate from the business to Federal Party. But I think it will be necessary that other people start funding the party. And I think we have to learn in South Africa. We have to realize, the voters have to realize, that imperialism is, the political imperialism works with big business. And big business benefits from political imperialism, central governance, big central governments, and they fund the politics. And if the voters do not start funding politics, then the political situation will not change, because it is business and politics working together in pursuit of maximum profit. And how it works, it eventually ends in a situation where a revolution starts, then there's trouble, and then the whole system starts from scratch again. That is how imperialism works. And if voters want a different system that respect them and allow their lives to flourish, then they have to get interested in self-determination politics, and voters will have to fund it themselves.
How is your battery doing?
It is now at 9%, and I think it could be gone within the next few minutes.
Okay.
It will be gone.
I just wanted to ask one very quick question. It just popped up in my mind. So very quickly, what are you doing for food?
I'm okay. Well, let me explain to you exactly. Long life milk and quick porridge is my breakfast. Black sweet tea is my main beverage, and Then bread and tomatoes and onions. I make sandwiches,
Okay.
and I have a kettle that I can boil water in. And last night I I I I boil the water, then I put it in a soup bowl with the eggs 3 times. Then the eggs are done, and I can eat the eggs on bread like that.
Sure. Okay, we need to get you sorted ASAP, and hopefully we can also get some people to notice the other the Khoisan that are sitting there as well. Hopefully we can get some eyes on them as well and help them in their fight. So before you get cut off, I'm gonna say goodbye and thank you for your time. And like I said, I'm gonna make sure that this video gets out as far as possible. And yeah, I want people to hear your story. So thank you, and like I said, Godspeed. You're in our prayers, and please stay safe. Not only are you battling the cold at night and whatever elements are thrown at you during the day, you know we're also in the middle of a pandemic. So stay safe.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for the opportunity, and have a nice day.
You too. I'll chat to you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that was Marquard Pienaar from the Federal Party at the moment, uh, trying to fight for some important rights and also trying to uh, fight the system, literally fight the system against corruption and some of the things that he's been through in his lifetime. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I know this is kind of short and to the point. Pienaar didn't have a lot of battery life, but please share this. Please let people know because there was quite important information that was said in this video. So please let people know this is the reason why I put him on here as well, is because I think his story deserves to be told. So please, ladies and gentlemen, please share. Please like the video. Subscribe to my channel. I got more content coming your way tonight. I'll be talking to Mikhail Kanaka about Afrikaans culture. So if you have any questions about that, you're more than welcome to join me at 8:30 p.m. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Stay safe, and I'll see you at the next one.